everybody, welcome fellow makers. It's Prop Live. It's your weekly prop and costume making Q&A session. I'm Bill, and that's Jackie.
Hi.
Our friend. We call her Jackie Craft. And all the way from, where do you hail?
I'm on the Outer Banks, North Carolina.
That's right, North Carolina. We're way up here in Seattle, where it's rainy all the time. At least it is lately. We have an issue where when it rains just right, the walls kind of weep, and then the shop gets flooded. Not so bad that we need to like worry about it, but woke up yesterday to a wet floor in the shop.
Oh wow, we can't have basements here. It's a basement, right? Yeah, we're like right at that water. Well, we're below water level, so it's like limestone underneath these islands. So
yes. Well, anyway, Jackie, you have been a woman about town. You have been incredibly productive in the last few months, and I want to talk about it.
Let's talk about that.
Talk about what we can talk about. First of all, if you guys aren't following Jackie, you just go on over to Jackie Craft Cosplay on Facebook. Just go ahead and hit that like button. You will not regret it, because Jackie's been working on some super cool stuff.
And I'm going to do a giveaway when I reach 10,000 followers.
Oh my goodness.
It's going to be this little tiny portable 3D printer. You could clip in your car.
Holy crap.
Very little.
That's so tiny.
It's the world's smallest.
That's amazing. How close are you? You got to be really close.
I think I'm like 600 away. So.
Oh my God. Guys, go on over there and follow Jackie.
It's going to be fun. I'm going to give away lots of funny stuff.
That's awesome. You've been doing some foam armor patterns we got listed here.
Yeah, I have been doing foam patterns, and it's been fun. You can actually like kind of sew with them too if you add like a seam allowance. But pattern. I actually bought your Inkscape tutorial.
Hey, how about that?
Learned Inkscape and have been doing the pattern stuff, so it's cool. I actually really enjoy it. The thing that's kind of a bummer is like having to remake your patterns, like keep testing after you edit it in Inkscape to make sure it still works.
Oh yeah.
I hate that. It's so tedious.
That's why a lot of times I'll make a pattern for a costume for myself, and people ask me, "Oh, do you have the templates for that?" And I'm like, "No, the templates for that are a pile of cardboard."
Oh yeah.
And I would have to trace them, put them in Inkscape, print them out, try and make it again to make sure that it works. And that's not to say I can't do that and that I won't do that. I just haven't been able to do that yet, because it does like double or triple the work you have to do. But
it's crazy time consuming. I was surprised at that.
But you have done the work, and folks, if you go on over to jackiecraft.storeenvy.com, you can see there's some digital blueprints there for the Jaina Proudmoore inspired thing. ... breastplate pattern, there it is. And a couple of other things there that are worth checking out. So
there's all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
I have a bunch too. I'm doing like Mercy's boots. I have those patterns. That's oddly enough, I posted a picture of that bustier pattern.
Yeah.
That's actually Mercy's boots.
Yeah.
Boot pattern. And it kind of works for Farah and Genji. They're all similar, just like small alterations, but it works as a bustier, or I don't know, like foam booby top.
Yeah, no kidding. We've had similar reactions from people who will go get the Skyrim armor pattern that I made, and they'll just modify it a bit to make whatever that they're making, something that's similar. They'll just modify it.
Yeah.
So
I've done that with Evil Ted's too. Like
yes. Yeah.
I actually just did that for my brother. I have like Ted's patterns all over the table and had to expand it for my brother because he's like 4 times Ted's size. I didn't realize. I thought they were similar, but guess not. So it's easy to do.
Real quick, gang, if you're watching live and you have a prop and or costume making question for us, we will tackle those momentarily, but you can head on over to punishprops.com/live to submit your question. That's the place to go. But before we do that, we've got a couple more things here. You've been doing some makeup tutorials, some really wild ones too.
Yeah, I kind of just I don't know why, but I follow like a lot of makeup artists, but I'd never tried any kinds of like crazy Halloween makeup, and I thought like, let's order a Miron palette and see what I can do. And I had so much fun with it. I was actually really surprised at how like addicting it is. It takes a long time, but it's it's fun. It's fun. I like the Lich King and like the dude makeup just because it's so different than my norm. But I did like a lizard I really like, and obviously the Illidan one. But yeah, I think that's so much fun. I don't think people realize how it's not as hard as you think it is.
Oh
It's just
yeah.
like painting, but it's your face.
There
It's
you
weird.
go. I've never done anything like that. I may have to dip
Oh my
my
gosh, you
toe into
should.
that world. I just had I believe this is the Arthas one that you've got up here, and that looks pretty fantastic.
Oh, I had a good time
You
with
get
that
to
one.
paint yourself a beard, a little bit of a beard there,
Yeah,
a little
but I did a
scruff.
Yeti makeup where I actually glued a full beard and hair. Oh man, that was not a good idea. Like it was so I used a remover, but it was not a good remover. I now have like this telekinesis remover stuff that works good, but peeling a beard off of my skin was so painful. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
goodness.
Ugh.
Oh, cool. Well, that's another reason why everyone ought to go over to Jackie's Facebook page and give it a like. The last thing I have on here, the other thing you've been into lately, has been that Lulzbot 3D printer you got.
Yeah.
I have one behind me too. I have the mini that I'm borrowing from Joel, the 3D printing nerd, and it's a champ. It's a great little machine. How about yours?
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Like I wish I bought it like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I am so happy with this baby. It prints such high quality prints. It's crazy. Like I'm addicted to it. And I feel like it gives me this false sense of like super productive because my little robot is also making something, but then then you really have to go sand it and fill it. So it is work, but
Yeah.
it's so cool. I'm really happy to have like I don't know. I want to make I made a Mercy staff for Liz.
Yeah.
And I want to make one for myself and add all my motor components, the stuff I did for her. So I've got like all the pieces. I just have to sand them and get them ready.
Just have to do all the hard work.
Yeah, so bad.
I saw that too. As soon as you got it, you're like, awesome. Make a Mercy staff. Get to work.
I just dove in. I know, and it printed for like 5 days straight. Well, I made the mistake of printing my first set of prints without watching your most recent prop live with Alicia.
Yeah.
Well, once I was watching that one while parts were printing, and I realized I needed to change the infill.
Yeah.
I was printing like straight up solid parts, like highest quality. It took like 17 hours. I was like, man, what is this? This is retarded. Well, lo and behold, you're printing at like what, 10% or something?
Yeah, 10 to 20% usually. Yeah.
So now I'm doing it right.
A lot less plastic that way.
Yeah.
Well,
and one other thing I was working on, I'll tell you about since I can talk about it, but I can't post any pictures about it, is myself and Liz, my friend Liz, who's in the chat. I got to bring her on for this project, which is really cool because I was brought on for it first. And we got to make some Hearthstone costumes for Blizzard.
Oh my God. That sounds awesome.
So it's for a TV commercial that will be airing soon. So be on the lookout.
That is very exciting, Jackie. You see, guys, I wasn't lying. Jackie has been a woman about town. She's been very productive. Well, it's been exciting to watch from afar and even more exciting to get to chat with you about it now. Are you ready for some questions?
Oh, I'm always ready for questions.
Of course you're ready. You've got your Prop Tart shirt on and everything.
Yes. Solidarity.
I before we get started, I just want to point out I have a Prop Tart shirt and it's awesome, and I'm afraid to wear it because I know I'll ruin it.
Yeah, I brought extras just in case. So like one will be a shop shirt. I was telling Bill, like they get destroyed as you can see from that zip.
I should have got a couple of them. All right. Instead, I'm wearing this old thing, which should be consecrated and thrown out. It's really, really gross.
You have to cast it like you did your rotary tool.
Yeah.
Flash cast the whole thing like a flat thing and frame it.
Yeah, I should probably do that.
Yeah, like Han Solo style.
We'll figure out. You know what? When it is finally time to retire this shirt, we'll go to the Prop Tarts. We'll ask them like what to do with this. We'll get some good ideas from you guys.
I like it.
Okay, let's grab some questions. First one is from Mayday. My armor has thin veins of light in it. What should I use to diffuse the light? Ooh. A lot of that will probably depend on what you've built your armor out of.
Yeah.
There's an extreme example. I'm gonna try and find a really cool thing that I remember. If I can, I'm not saying what it is because I don't know if I can find it. But what about you? What do you use to or like to use to diffuse light?
So I have a lot of weird things. Like I put a tissue in my King Varian shoulder things, but something I found lately that comes in the mail with like Amazon and stuff is you know those little like plastic foamy squishy things that are like I don't know, it's like packing material. I use like they're so good for diffusing light. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
So basically like an open cell foam maybe? Something like that. Yeah.
Weird. and it's amazing. It diffuses light like almost better. It looks like kind of like those things in 1980s bathrooms, like those square cubies, like in a whatever they are. They're so weird. They used to be in bathrooms like all the time.
Yeah.
But it's really nice. Those are awesome, and they're always free because they come in the Amazon boxes.
Thin white craft foam would probably diffuse LEDs okay, like a 2mm thin white craft foam might work.
2mm. Oh yeah, I guess
like really thin. But also like wax paper might work pretty well. A lot of times, if you can just get the light away from the surface that you're shining through, that's going to help a lot too, so you don't get hot spots. The crazy example, I'm bringing it up on the screen here. So our buddy Dave over at Evil FX built a Didact costume a long time ago, or a couple years ago. It's all sculpted, all molded, and cast. It took him like 6 months to make and cost a gajillion dollars in materials. But it's incredible. Now, for the veins of light on that costume, he actually made a mold of, like, let's say the helmet. And then he slush cast the helmet in an opaque resin for most of it. And then he took it out of the mold. And then he dremeled away the areas where the veins of light were. And then he put it back in the mold and then slush cast it with orange tinted resin. So it's all opaque except for those lines where it's orange tinted. And if you put some bright LEDs behind it, it'll shine through, but not through the opaque areas. Now, if you're willing to go crazy and do it super awesome, just do it like that.
Like so much work.
Yeah.
I like Phoenix Revival is like, yo, Mr. Clean magic erasers. That's up my alley.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I'm down for some magic erasers though. I just grab whatever's in the house.
Yeah. Okay. So the Mr. Clean magic eraser is like I guess it would be like an open cell spongy foam.
I like that.
And it's white. Very good.
And the dollar store has a knockoff.
Yeah.
So like a pack of 2 or 4.
So you could spend thousands of dollars on it, or $1.
Or $1.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's grab another question. That one was great. That came to us from Mayday. Next one is from Sin Toxic. What are your favorite colors of acrylics, except for black, that you like to use for weathering? Which kind of dirt does each one of those represent? Do you have your go-tos for weathering?
Yeah, I love raw umber and burnt umber. Like I love those too. But my friend Jen, she actually he says dirt, and that reminds me that she showed me the hairspray and throw dirt onto a costume kind of method. And I know that there's Fuller's or something that's like bad for you. There's one that's really toxic.
Fuller's Earth.
Fuller's Earth. There you go. But she found like a non-toxic one and showed me that, and I was like, wow, this is a fun way to, like, if you don't want it shiny, if you want
if you want it to look dusty and dirty. I was actually just reading a book yesterday on painting models, and I believe he's used the generic term pigment. He just called it was like a little cup of let me see if Hobbytown, it's the sort of thing you would find at a hobby store,
like hair pigment, like just actual pure color.
Maybe, but it was definitely a powder. Yeah, I don't know what specifically it was called. Okay. I will say, if you go to the hobby store, they will have jars of dusty stuff.
I got a whole slew of that.
Yeah, like I have a bunch of them too.
Yeah. Like makeup. You can buy it on tkctrading.com. You can get like every single color makeup powder on the planet. That's where all these indie brands buy their stuff. So like they're really cheap. Like $1 for like this. This is this much.
Yeah, exactly that much. Some of that stuff I have is self-adhesive, and when you rub it into a surface, it'll activate the adhesive in it, so it actually sticks the powder. Other stuff, what you do is you lay it down where you want it, and then you spray it with a fixer, something like even just like a thinner, like paint thinner of some kind. That's something I've been looking into more and more. But you can make it dusty and dirty. And the colors you pointed out are the raw umbers, and burnt sienna is a really good one too for rust.
Yeah. I like this a lot.
Yeah. So hopefully we pointed out some new stuff for you, Sin Toxic, and gave you a reason to go to the hobby store and buy a bunch of stuff.
And another thing, since you mentioned weathering, I just watched the model or the Weta workshop that Adam went and visited, like the big model thing he did, and he was talking about mixing the metal pigments with shellac. I like wrote that down so I wouldn't forget to do like a rust look.
Yeah,
I love shellac.
I've heard of that same thing. I actually bought some shellac to try that like 2 years ago, and I still haven't tried.
I have the pigment, the copper pigment upstairs, and the shellac, and still have not tried it. So why do we do that to ourselves?
Yeah. Let's see here. Wreckers in the chat says Tamiya has sets of weathering powders. Yep, I've got some of those. Those are really cool. And then I saw something else here. Oh, Rob TC says that pigment is pure colored powder. It's ground in roasted minerals. No binder or anything. So there you go.
Nice.
Cool. Thank you, Syntoxic. Let's grab another one. Velissa Stone says, do you know if it's possible to tint transparent Worbla with stained glass spray paints? She says she'd prefer doing that versus dyeing it. She wants red screens, so when you put an LED behind it, it has a nice tint to it. I don't know about what sticks or doesn't stick to transparent Worbla. Have you done any experiments?
Yeah. And it's really funny that somebody asked that question about the spray paint, because Liz and I did her Mercy wings, and we spray painted the Krylon stained glass paint, then used the frosting paint, and both ways, first or second on either one, negated each other. So we had frosting on one side and stained glass on the other, and that was Pet G. And with the clear Worbla, even everything sticks to it. Like you can even, I mean, everything. Gosh, I say everything. Somebody's be like, well, silicone does not stick to it. Shut me down. But I color it with a Sharpie, even like a straight up plain old Sharpie. I just go like this, and you can heat it, and it kind of, I don't know what it does to it, but when you heat it back up, it takes the streaks out of it. It's strange. Just like hit it lightly with a heat gun, then color it some more.
Oh wow.
And I've done it so much. All of my red stuff on all of Variant is done with a red Sharpie on Worbla. So because I don't dye stuff. Like the dip dye, I'm just I don't know. It's not for me.
And I'm wondering too, like if you tried to do that with transparent Worbla, if that would deform it at all.
Yeah.
Because it's got a lower melting point. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets like wobbly really fast.
That's cool. Just as a side note too, with the LEDs, if you tint or put like a transparent color on your on something for a visor, the LEDs won't necessarily make that visor glow. If you want it to glow, you've got to etch that surface in some way so that the light has something to refract off of. So you may have to etch a pattern into it of some kind. I know a lot of people who try to make what's his name, Star-Lord helmets. They want the eyes to glow red, but they also want to be able to see through it. And it's tricky to do both of those things. But if you put like a crosshatch pattern into it, it'll glow red and it'll look pretty good in photographs, but you might still have some visibility. I haven't tried for myself. You might still be able to see out of it. Same thing with Iron Man eyes, wanting to be able to have a bright white eye but still be able to see out of it. Usually people make it bright white and then have a slit below where they can see out of it. So if you're looking for the visor, the eyes to glow, just know that you're going to run into those challenges. But good luck, Velissa, and good question.
Yes.
Our pal Nerdy Views has a good question. This one's for Jackie. He wants to know how the Farah build is going and what conventions are you planning on attending this year?
Well, the Farah build currently lives at Liz's garage in California. So it's stuck there until I don't know, like I got pretty far on it, working on it for BlizzCon, and then we just like full swapped Mercy because it really seemed like it was, I don't know. I'm not somebody that will rush a costume just for the sake of like having it on my body, because I get that it may photograph well and you can fix it, but all my friends that come up to me at the con and point things or notice things, I don't want them to think that's an accurate representation of what I can do, or like the one chance you could have gotten a job, but they were like, yo, that looks bad, you know? So it's at Liz's, and eventually I'll send it home or I'll work on it there with her, but it's I want to do it right. So it's not finished, but my next costume or next convention is KatsuCon, which is like gonna be a good one.
All right.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
It's one that we mean to like. Oh, we should try and get to that every year, but it's on the East Coast, and it's right in the beginning of the year too. So you're like, oh crap, that's right now.
It's crazy, but like it's so the costuming. All the cons I went to last year or in the last 2 years, KatsuCon is really giving other ones a run for the money. Like it is so good. The seamstress work and just I love it so much. It's so whimsical and it feels it's like large and small at the same time because everybody's just hanging out in that nice little like warmed convention center. It's freezing outside and you're trying to take photos, but they all come out so good, even though your teeth chattering in negative 20-degree weather. Like, oh, I just love it.
That's awesome. All right, someday we'll make it to KatsuCon.
Yes, you have to. They can bring you as a guest. They have cosplay guests.
Yeah.
Everybody make KatsuCon, bring Bill and Brittany as a guest.
That's right.
Everyone spam them. That would be fun.
We have a convention appearances page on our website. Send them there. Thank you, Nerdy Views. Next question comes to us from someone named Logan. And Logan wants to know, oh, that reminds me, there's a new trailer for the new Wolverine movie.
Oh, yeah, there is. I haven't seen it yet either.
Me neither. But it's on my watch later list. I'm so excited. Okay, Logan.
I was just looking at a Wolverine picture of you, like a Chops picture, and it was you and Brittany, but was it like 3 or 4 years ago or something?
That was quite a few years and quite a few pounds ago. Yes, but
I like that one though. That's a good look on you.
Yeah,
you should bring that back.
I did. I grew I wanted to be crazy mutton chop Wolverine, so I grew my mutton chops out a lot. All right, Wolverine wants to know. How would you go about patterning instructing the new 52 Hal Jordan Green Lantern pauldrons his shoulders? And I have a picture. I'll drop this picture in the chat too so people can see it. Oh. So Jackie can see it. So it's like almost kind of skin tight armor looking thing there. The pauldrons being the shoulder bits right there. So if you have a torso, like a plaster torso or a mannequin that you can pattern it off of, what do you think? Holy crap! Jackie's throwing stuff.
There's a lot of things. These are all like test pattern pieces.
Yeah.
They can live over there.
If you have a form you can work off of, that's going to give you a huge leg up. As far as otherwise, you're going to have to just come up with a pattern from scratch, build it out of scrap foam, and see if it fits, and then keep modifying it. What do you have there, Jackie?
I've been making a pauldron, and I think this is like sort of like that.
Yeah,
like
it's pretty close.
One, but like you could cut the bottom, like you could cut the point off, and it's like a little skin tight guy.
Yep.
Little baby. So like, coming to a store near you.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Now the challenge with this particular one is going to be that. If you make that out of like thicker floor mat foam, you're not going to have a lot of upper arm mobility at all. This would almost be better to do as like a sewn costume, I think. It's just so skin tight. Maybe a little bit of padding in the shoulders, but a sewn costume might work better. So
no, I agree with you. Yeah, I would sew it because mobility is everything. Like that is nothing like not being able to like go even higher than this without it, crunching up and looking terrible, stabbing you in the neck.
Let's see. Logan's second question is that he's having trouble finding that particular color of spray paint in like a hardware store. And he's curious about what a good way would be to match that color. Well, if you're looking to take the next step into your costume making adventures, you could invest in an airbrush and mix your own colors. This is something I'm terrible at, but... That's why I usually try and buy model paints because there's such a variety of colors. That's like a shiny, almost metallic green. So you could mix some metallic colors together to get that particular color, or there may already be one that exists if you go to like hobby stores instead of the hardware store. Do you have an airbrush, Jackie? I bet you do.
Oh, I do. I've got it right under me. And I always tell everybody that I started, like I did my Lich King armor with that Harbor Freight, like $65 kit or whatever, just because it's got the compressor, it's got the airbrush, and it will teach you. And then I upgraded to like a really nice one. But I love airbrushing. I don't think I wouldn't go back to painting without an airbrush now because it's so fast. Like, it's funny that you talk about mixing colors because we had the wrong color for Jaina's pauldrons for that Blizzard shoot, and we brought 2 airbrushes to Blizzard's campus at 5:30 in the morning that day, and they set us up a table outside. And Liz, I had to change the Jaina pauldrons on the spot, like wet. I'm carrying it through the office to the Blizzard staff for approval. It's wet. It's the wrong color. We go back again, wrong color. I come back and Liz is like freezing. She had custom mixed a cup of like the perfect Jaina color because we didn't have it. And it was honestly like there's nothing like the result of like, really finding your niche and like mixing really cool colors. Like, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of great options for like auto body finishes, but if you don't have a perfectly smooth surface, you're kind of wasting your money on like if you spray it on just a junky surface. I don't know, like those 35-cent paints are just as good. You need a good finish.
Yeah. I agree. Start dabbling into that world. Logan, once you get into that, you'll find that like what's possible with your finishes goes through the roof. A whole new world will open before you. Thanks for the question. Let's keep moving here. Patrick says, is the thing to the left of the Mechanist helmet on your table a new 3D printer?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm borrowing this. This is the Taz Mini. I'm borrowing it from my pal Joel, the 3D printing nerd. And I went to his house and for dinner, and I left with a 3D printer. That's kind of how it goes.
Wow.
I'm just borrowing it. I'll give it back eventually. But yeah, I've got this little guy to tinker with some stuff. I have some different materials, different 3D printing materials I want to try. And the Ultimaker that I have and the Dremel that I have aren't set up to use those particular materials. But this guy, with some modification, should be able to handle some of those materials. I don't want to spill the beans quite yet, but I have plans for this little guy, and it's going to be really cool. So look forward to that. But yes, this isn't even the most 3D printers. I've had 4 3D printers running at the same time in my house. We have since given some of them back or traded them. So this is like kid stuff.
You print them all? Are they all like with an SD card, or is everybody hooked up?
They all have SD cards. This one needs to be plugged into a computer. This guy.
Okay.
Actually, when we had the Form 2, which is awesome, that thing works. A lot of 3D printers work off of Wi-Fi. That one in particular works like really well over Wi-Fi. I love it. I just sit at my computer. I'm like, go machine, and then the machine pops up, and it's just a giant button. So you do have to walk over and hit start, but it's like beckoning you. Do you want to start your print? And I'm like, yes.
Yes, of course I do.
Thanks, Patrick. Let's grab one here from our pal Staple Crop Rice. Hair dryers are not a sufficient substitute for heat guns. Correct. What makes sense? Let's see here. Oh, he's curious why. He says his next prop needs to be heat shaped, but I haven't bought a heat gun yet. Basically, hair dryers just don't get hot enough. That's really what it is. And don't go the other way either. Don't try and dry your hair with a heat gun. They get hot enough to melt your hair.
Yeah, for sure. And third note, don't buy this heat gun.
Which one's that?
It's from Ace Hardware.
Yeah.
It has like a governor. I don't know what else to call it, but like once you use it for a while, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, we're gonna need to cool down before you can use it. And I like this bad boy. I've had 3 of these just because I use it to death. But I will never what a waste, man! For like $28, I had to go buy it in a pinch. But don't buy one at your local Ace Hardware.
We have the crappy one from Harbor Freight.
Yeah,
it's like $13, and it's fine. It's fine. That's one of the only things I recommend people buy from Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
So essentially, we have a hair dryer in our shop, an old hair dryer for helping to dry paints when we're rushing. But it doesn't get hot enough to affect your thermoplastics or EVA foam for heat forming stuff. It just doesn't get hot enough. So $13.
Oh, hi Ted.
Harbor Freight.
Hi Ted.
Ted's here.
Oh, that reminds me. So, did you get a thing from TnT Cosplay?
Did I ever?
Whoa, well, one of my new favorite things are these.
Oh my god.
Can I just say, like, I have needed these forever. I have the copper pipe, like, casing things, but as you know, like, they melt very quickly. Like, hot glue gun melts them. These are EVA, like, trim tubes, I guess. I'm obsessed with them.
We got that. We're probably gonna break all that stuff out in a future shop live stream and just play with them and see what we can come up with.
I love this.
Very, very exciting.
Steve's gonna love that. That the foam they're working on, like shoe sole foam.
Yeah, exciting.
I love that. And Natasha was just posting about the the adhesive foam over in like
Mm-hmm.
Germany, and TNT's working on a foam with adhesive. It's
Sure
like,
do.
they just love giving us stuff.
Oh yeah, we love those guys. Thank you guys so much, by the way, for the good stuff. We'll play with that in the shop here pretty soon. Real quick, I went to Harbor Freight's website. $11.99. The Drill Master heat gun. I've had this thing for years and it hasn't quit on me. I upgraded mine though because I scratched out Drill Master and I wrote Stark Industries. So maybe that's why it works so well.
Oh yeah, that's in your Inkscape video, isn't it?
Isn't
You
it?
actually drew your heat gun. That's funny.
Thank you, Staple Crop Rice. And hopefully we've inspired a handful of people to go buy a heat gun.
Yeah, a hair dryer is more expensive than that $11
Right.
or $12 heat gun.
Let's grab a question here from Oshova. I'm working on a Kingdom Hearts Dark Side costume. Curious about what material would be good for the head tendrils. I've got a picture here. Oh, this is an interesting character. I'm dropping that link in the chat. It's a character that's very... the head things are like very angular looking pointy things.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that is a challenge. I feel like there's like a challenge going among the Pop Tarts, and they're like, what about this costume? Let's throw a costume at Bill that really stumps him. This one's up there.
I love that though. That you should just keep doing that.
You could so a couple things you could do. One, you could make thin long spikes out of upholstery foam and put like armature wire in it so you could bend them at those wacky angles. So get some squishy upholstery foam, cut it into long thin strips that are tapered to a point. And
then how seal it?
You can seal upholstery foam with latex.
So like skin it, like wouldn't it be heavy? Because armature wire would have to be like a high pound.
If you put like 1/8 inch thick armature wire would probably do it.
Okay.
And then you'd have armature wire sticking out the back of it that you could glue into a headpiece of some kind. I just think it would be easier to make them straight and then to bend them into shape. You could probably do that similarly with EVA foam, something similar. So yeah, just putting some sort of skeletal structure inside those things to bend them into shape, or at least to anchor them to a headpiece, I think would work. But you got your work cut out for you. You're gonna have to do a little bit of trial and error to get that thing to work right and to sit on your head correctly and look right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes.
How are you gonna get your guts to go wet? Like, what are you gonna do?
That I don't know about that. I think
crazy.
that's the thing you're probably gonna have to work with even more.
Yeah.
That's why my brother Smidge McDuff in the chat says, I want to know how to fit that big giant chest hole into a costume. That's right, Rob.
Oh, is that Rob? Hi,
Yeah.
Rob. I was funny enough what I was telling Brittany about the other day. I did not realize that you and Liz had been in a cosplay hangout of Jordan's Henchman Props like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
How cute is that? And Rob is sitting beside you at the workbench crafting.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh man, needs to be more brother crafting. This is like that big Iron Man push, like back in the day.
Yeah.
It was like one of your first big like documented costumes.
Yeah.
Cool.
That went horribly wrong. Do you know there are people that don't believe that I have a twin brother?
Really?
Even though, yeah. Well, what's happened is I did a video with him recently, and I said, I will, my brother did this part, so I'll let him explain it. And the video cut to him.
Oh, yeah.
He explained it, and then it cut back to me. Now, for people who have been following us and our channel for a while, they're like, oh, that's Rob. I've seen him in videos before. But for newer people, what they saw was me toss it to me, explain it, and toss it back to me. I didn't even think people wouldn't know that I don't actually have a twin brother. They just thought I was insane. So. Oh,
that reminds me. Question. When you told me that you weren't able to get LASIK, was Rob?
No, neither of us.
Oh,
yeah.
Both. Okay. I was like, wow, they're twins. I wonder if one brother was able to get that super.
That would be a really sad day if we both went to the LASIK doctor to get eye surgery on the same day, and we were both turned down. Brutal. Thank you, Ashova. Lee Braham Cosplay says, what was your BlizzCon experience like? Is it worth a cross-country trip? Yes, I think so.
Okay, well, I had a job that I had to be in somewhere else and like that day,
Secret
the
job.
first day. So I literally, job. I literally got 3 hours of, an hour really of BlizzCon time. I got the opening ceremony, and then I just like rushed around and looked at everything, said hi to Steve, and saw you, saw Ted, took a quick picture with Ted. Like it was my fastest like experience. But I will say, oh, and my friend Adam, he plays on Cloud9. He was on the American Overwatch team, so I got to see him in between competitions. It was the fastest I've ever like seen as many people as I could, and it was still worth it.
Very
Just
good.
the experience of walking up to the convention, and like there is nothing. I love Blizzard. I'm such a fangirl. I can't help it. Like it's ridiculous.
There you go.
I would go
worth it. Similar to me, we go across the country the other way to go to DragonCon every single year, and it's always worth it.
See, I feel like I need to go to DragonCon and hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
Because I did not have a good experience at DragonCon.
Really?
Yeah.
You should hang out with us.
Yeah, okay. Because I got to talk to Will and Harrison, but I didn't hang out with you guys. I didn't like know you on that level yet. So like this is my very first year cosplay. Like I just jumped into DragonCon, and it was packed with like 80,000 people.
Oh yeah.
I had never experienced anything like this. It blew my mind. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Now, if I were to go back to DragonCon, I wouldn't even care about a costume. I would straight up build myself a little mini adult racer. Like that is my goal in life. I spent so much time researching that, and I was like, dude, this is what needs to happen. I need one of those mini adult, like Jurassic Park cars or something. Yes. They're so good.
Awesome. Thank you, Libraham Cosplay. And maybe we'll see you at BlizzCon this year. Peter J is looking into, he wants to mass produce a deck box for Magic the Gathering. He has a few larger voids in the box, I guess, in the mold. Most of the walls are thin, like 2 millimeters. That is very thin. I think doing a silicone mold and casting it would be the best option, but I'm worried the walls might break when I tried to make it out of the mold. Do you know of any ways to prevent this or a better way of producing them? What you might do is 2 millimeters, depending on the plastic you use, might not be too thin. If it's a deck box, it's not very big, then make a mold and try it. I mean, that's the cost of research and development. Just give it a go. But you could also make side panels and cast those, and then glue those to an existing box. So a box that is like wood or something that's structurally sound, and then you just glue panels to it. That's another way to solve that. But I bet if you just cast it, it'll be fine. But
yeah, 2 millimeters. I mean, I have like super thin casting. Like I have little like claws that are like really thin, like swish casted with just like this, like 5 mils of smooth cast 300, and they're like paper thin walls, and I've been banging them around, so should be all right.
Yeah. And like again, like I said, something that small, then make a mold, give it a try. That's the cost of R&D. So I bet you'll be okay. And you could always tinker with the design a little bit, make it a little bit thicker if you have to. Good luck. That's cool. That's a really good idea. Mass cool. Making boxes for your cards to put in. Thank you, Peter J. Tecton Props says, do you know of any good ways to weather fabric to look older, or as if it has mud or burnt carbon, similar to armor?
Burnt carbon?
I don't do a lot with cloth, but Tested did a video. I'm going to go find it. Tested did a video when Frank Ippolito's shop was working on the For Honor armor, and they did a whole video on weathering cloth. So I'm gonna go find that. But do you have any tips for weathering cloth?
Yeah, I weather cloth. I can't stand when the cloth, like part of a costume is not weathered and then everything else is weathered. Not saying I can't stand on you, you do you, but like on me, if I look like this is from JCPenney and then I've got like battle slashes all through the rest, I feel strange. I feel like I don't match. So I airbrush everything. I have like a textile medium that's really cheap. I just mix that in with the paint and spray it, and then it's not crunchy. You know how like acrylic paint, like even on fur, I have it behind me and it's crunchy. I had to like hairbrush it through so it wouldn't be crunchy. And again, that hairspray and dirt throwing, that's magic.
Yeah.
I used that recently and I love that. I was literally just like scooping it off the ground and just like chucking it on. Like I like how that looks. And I have burnt fabric. I will say be very careful because organic versus synthetic, are handled very differently. Like you burn like a polyester synthetic, it like could just go crazy and curl all up and singe all up and look like a nightmare. I mean, like the way that you burn those nylon strips, like that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing. And so it's burning, it's weird. Like I have used a wood burner on my Varian cloak, but that's duck canvas, 100% cotton.
Yeah.
And I could burn holes through it and it worked fine. So
Like always, do small tests on scraps before you commit
yeah,
to lighting part of your costume on fire.
yeah.
The video here is called Weathering Techniques for Cosplay Costumes. Tested. We'll have a link in the show notes. And it's awesome. It's in Frank's shop, and there's Frank and Norm doing their thing. And I'm skipping through it right now. There we go. There's
That's a good one.
some cloth that gets, the edges get all cut up and trimmed up to look all ragged. He's got some sandpaper to really sort of shred the edge of the cloth. Some really fun techniques to make armor look, or costumes look really, really old and dirty. So go check out that video. They do a much better job of explaining it than I can. They're awesome. Thank you. That question came to us from Tecton Props. Next one, Adam S. Could it be him?
Oh,
Is it the Adam S? I'm 3D printing a rolling BB-8. What would you recommend to seal and protect 3D prints from heavy abrasion? Boy, now it's time to bring out the big guns. Have you tried any catalyzed automotive paints, Jackie?
no, but I have a lot of them like saved that I'd like to put.
Yeah.
I just ordered a compressor. So like now that compressor, I know it's on the way. It's like from that California compressor company or whatever they're called. I don't know. So when that gets here, I'm gonna start spraying stuff.
Awesome. I'm trying to find it. Here it is. We grabbed, again, Frank Ippolito's the man. He's the one who turned us on to this stuff here.
Yes.
This is 2K Gloss Clear Coat. It is a catalyzed spray paint. It's not cheap, but it is a spray paint can, and there's a button on the bottom that you hit, and it mixes the catalyst in there, and then you shake it up really well, and you spray it on your prop. And it will, because it's catalyzed, it doesn't dry, it cures. And it cures rock freaking solid. So it's most of the benefits of doing an automotive clear coat without the hassle of having an HPL VLP sprayer. We did it on Commander Holly's helmet and a couple of other things we had lying around. And it's awesome. It's a really, really durable finish. So.
That's awesome.
And one thing I do recommend. What was that?
Is it a one-time use?
Oh, yeah. Once you pop that button, it claims you have 48 hours to use the whole can before it's gone. So what we did was we knew we'd be using one, so we got a couple of projects ready to go, ready for clear coat. And then Brittany popped it, did the Holly helmet, and did a couple of other things while the can was still good. So just know that. Be ready to use it, like...
Okay.
When you're going to use it. But if you need something that's going to be rubbing against the ground that needs to be durable, like your rattle can spray paint isn't going to do it. This is the stuff. So 2K, again, we'll have a link in the show notes to this. I'll put a link in the chat right now. You guys can go check it out. 2K high gloss. They may have other, I don't know if they have different finishes like a non-glossy version or whatnot, but that stuff's awesome. I can attest that stuff in particular is awesome. And thank you, Frank, for turning me on to that. Let's see, that came to us from Adam S. I'm going to guess.
Adam S. You have a real cool name.
Yeah. I loved you on Mythbusters. Hey, Patch. Hey, Patch has a question. I know he's in the chat, too. He says he has a bunch of soft foam, like yellow spongy foam. I guess I would call that upholstery foam. I was wondering if you've had any experience working with this stuff. Also, what would you make if you suddenly found yourself in the possession of a small mountain of sponge foam? You could make a mascot costume. Hey, if you're in the chat right now, you should tell Hey Patch that a mascot costume would be a really fun project, and he should.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that does not sound like a fun project for me, but like you should do it. 'Cause you think you should do it. To me, that sounds like a sweat. Like I would lose about 50 pounds and I may pass out. I'd be rolling around through the con. Like it's crazy. I don't know. Like upholstery foam. I need a futon right now. So like that's all I can think of is like, well, I could probably make like a futon cushion. But I don't know. Or orc. You can make an orc costume.
Yes. Holly, our buddy Holly, made a mascot costume. I have a video. You should watch it.
And her and Ted, they're in a video together doing
Yeah.
that mascot. I love that one. Like,
we'll link to that one. I just dropped it in the chat too if you guys want to check it out. So there you go. Hey Patch, you should make a mascot costume.
Yeah.
I gave you a video that you can follow. You have no reason not to. So go.
Yeah. And Adam Savage has that Totoro and the bear thing. So like you got all kinds of videos out there teaching you how to make them. Looks like you're gonna probably be making mascot costumes.
Yeah. My brother Rob in the chat says that he needs to make a muscle arm for his Tornbjorn costume. You can use that stuff to make muscle suit type things too.
Yeah.
It's not easy. That's a challenging thing. But you could, if you want to work your way up to mascot costume, maybe start with an arm, like a muscle arm.
There was a company right before Halloween that was looking to have a Hulk costume made for Shaquille O'Neal for a Florida event, and like that was but they wanted it in like 10 days, and they originally were going to paint him, and then they were like, we want one sculpted with like muscles, like the way that Steve did his and everything. And I felt like, dude, no way I could do that in a week or 10 days. That would take me a year, because I have never sculpted that stuff, so be a new thing.
Hey Patch also says he wants to add latex to that spongy foam. Actually, I have some right here. I'm gonna try and not drag my computer off. Hold on. There we go.
Or the chair.
It's like my spikes from my my mace I made for BlizzCon. This is all really squishy. And I added latex to this. I didn't add... if I had more time, I would have added more to really kind of seal this. But he's curious about pigmenting the latex. So the latex I get, the Poly Latex 60, comes as like a paste. I dilute that about 50-50 by volume with distilled water. And then to pigment it, I just mix in acrylic paint. And that's what I did for this. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Yeah. So there you go. Latex. We love latex. Oh, there that goes.
Yeah.
That's gone now. Awesome. That's gone now.
It's gone.
Thanks for the question, Hey Patch. I'm looking forward to seeing your mascot costume.
Me too. I'm really excited.
Bacon Boy says, I'm using white TnT Cosplay foam, and I need to seal it from stains and smudges. It might acquire while at a con that I'm not painting it, so he's using the bare color. What would you recommend for a sealant that keeps the foam flexible, dries clear, preferably with a matte or semi-gloss finish? I've been looking at using Flexbond. Good choice. You could just seal it with like varnish if you want. Or not. Yeah, varnish.
Are you from the 1970s?
No.
Just go get some varnish.
Yeah. Varnish is awesome. Varnish, okay.
I know. I know that it's just so funny to hear that word, because like I always think of my grandmother.
Yeah.
You know.
So it dries really fast. It's flexible. You can get it in matte or gloss. I like varnish a lot, but if you don't,
varnish is great. That's great. It's just funny.
Yeah, one of the main reasons for sealing your foam is to provide a base coat for your paint job. But if you're not painting it, then just seal it with varnish or leave it bare.
I got some clear Flex Seal right here. You could just use this, maybe. I don't know, like this stuff.
I haven't tried that stuff yet.
Neither have I.
Oh, we'll see how it goes then.
I got some Flexbond under here, though. I do love that. I got a lot of things I'll tell you not to use. Like, I love Epsilon Pro. It's on these things right here, but I don't like it for everything that flexes. That Era crotch piece, I put Epsilon Pro on it. Like, I have this serious problem where instead of testing something on a scrap, I'm like, well, I just assume it'll work. Let's put it right on the piece. So I did that, and it's like wrinkle. I started walking, and it's just super crinkly. So I had to sand it all back down. Make a lot more work for myself, like you do. But Flexbond is good. I think, general purpose. But Roscoe's, the company that makes Flexbond, they have foam coat as well. Ooh. So you could use that. There's a lot of options. And
there are so many options.
Like 1,000 foam coating products, like Creature, like that Creature Cast stuff. That's neoprene. Every single time I talk to Ted, he has me buying something new. I've got like Bounce behind me. I've got Flexbond. Everything Ted talks about, I'm like, yeah, let me try that. I have so many.
There you go. Don't be afraid to experiment.
Clear PlastiDip. Yeah.
Really what we're trying to say.
TnT. Yeah.
Let's see here. Large Sai says, I'm working on the Flash armor from the new Justice League movie out of EVA foam. I think I want to use latex to seal the foam instead of PlastiDip. What other options besides poly latex are around to maintain the flexibility of the foam? Any kind of liquid latex that would do the job. If you're going to go with latex, right? If you're going to do that, The Poly Latex 60, from my experimentation, has been the best by far. The liquid latex that you just get from the makeup store or like a costume store, that's not gonna do what you need it to do. It's far too thin. What do you got there, Jackie?
So I'm really, really cheap. I have, yes, there are some like expensive things like that Flex Seal. Don't really buy that. It's like $20. They're cheaper. But I do that's a fun way to use caulk. I use a wash of acrylic latex caulk, like for your house. There's a whole bunch of this upstairs. And it's amazing. You can like mix it up with water. There's people that spray it, but you can just do like a water wash, like just water it down. This stuff is amazing. I live for this.
Awesome.
I fill all my seams with caulk. Like paint sticks to it so amazingly well. There's like no shrinkage. Caulk, man, it's like $1 a tube or something, $1.50 a tube.
And that's got to be pretty similar to that Quick Seal, I imagine.
Yeah, it's the same. Quick Seal is like just another version. This is just like generic, like bathtub.
There you go.
So, awesome.
Very
I love
cool.
It. Not this stuff though. Ugh. Have you used this stuff? So I thought this is a fun way to prime my 3D print.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's real crazy.
The next question from the same person says, have you or Jackie used Yaya Han's fabrics before? I haven't had to purchase fabric. Wait, that's not entirely true. We made our tabards for BlizzCon out of curtain fabric because it looked really cool. But I haven't picked up any of Yaya Han's fabrics yet. She's, or Large Sai is curious about the carbon fiber fabric. Ooh. Is it good to use for a whole undersuit or just for specific places? I don't know. It looks really cool. Have you tried any of?
I'm not a big. I'm really cheap again. I'm really cheap, so like fabric. If fabric costs more than like $4 a yard, it's rare that I'll buy it. So that's no shade at her because people love her fabrics, and I'm sure they're incredible. Like her mermaid scale one is really popular, but I don't know. I'm just so cheap. FabricMarkFabrics.com is my favorite site because they have the $1.99 section. And you can get like moleskin and like houndstooth and crazy good like upholstery stuff for $1.99. But I use this carbon fiber stuff, this like heat seal stuff. I just want to show because it's ridiculous. I was surprised at how flexible it is on this piece of foam. Like it's not bad, but I feel like fabric would be a better option, and I'd like to try the fabric whenever it's on clearance, maybe, or with a 50% off coupon.
Yeah.
But Liz has just bought some the other day, and I think she loves it.
Awesome. There you go. Glowing review. Thank you, Large Sai. Next question coming in from Habitier Workshop. I'm getting a CNC machine. Ooh. And I was wondering if you could recommend any software or tutorials. What I don't know about CNC could fill an ocean. I had an X-Carve. I let a friend borrow it, so I haven't been playing with it. But there are lots of people on the internet that know a lot about it. In fact, I'm going to put a link in the chat. There is a channel called NYC CNC. I only just started watching them, but they come highly recommended from Jimmy DeResta, and he knows his stuff. So I recommend you go watch those videos. They do like a video every week on CNC. Oh. So there you go.
I know nothing. I know like the basic things that everybody else knows about CNC router. Like my cabinets are made with a CNC router in my kitchen, that kind of thing.
I know 3D modeling and 3D printing I can handle, but there with especially like a 3-axis CNC router, there's a lot of considerations you have to make. You know, you can't have any underhangs. You gotta put the right size bit in or different cutting paths and all this stuff. That I'm just
your file has to have the tool pathing. Paths in it.
Right?
Chad.
I haven't put in the time yet to really dive into that and figure it out. But there are plenty of people online. So Habitier Workshop, start with the NYC CNC and go from there. Let's go. Oh my goodness, we are almost out of time. See how many more we can get through. Michael says, I'm looking to attach a cloth-covered ventilation arm sleeve to a rotating mount. I have about 1/4 inch of space. I'm trying to find a way to snap or clip it in place, but I don't have a 3D printer to make one. Thoughts? Can link pick if needed. I'm having a hard time like making a mental image in my head. I can say that I saw someone recently at a convention this last weekend. He had a rotating shoulder arm sleeve thing, and he used basically a Lazy Susan bearing.
Ooh.
Yeah, so one side was attached to his shoulder and the other side attached to the sleeve part, and it could rotate.
That's interesting.
So
I
maybe,
need a Lazy Susan.
yeah, something like that, maybe.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm not
I can't
exactly
picture
sure.
it, so I have no option. I have a whole bunch of tiny motors that make things move, but not for that, I don't think.
All right. Next one. Oh, wait. Here we go. Aiden says, what is the best path for a novice learning fabric and leather for costumes? Like sewing, books, tutorials, whatever. If you want to get into that, where do you start?
For sewing?
Sewing and fabric and leather.
Oh, so like I follow this old lady on YouTube. She's like it's like a quantum stylist for Singer, like that particular sewing machine. She has like a 20-part YouTube series, and dude, I learned more from that old lady than any other thing I've watched, because she teaches you about all the feet.
Do you know that her name, so we can find her?
No, but I will look her name up and I will post about it, because she's awesome. She's just like, I bought that sewing machine and I can't believe the thing. Like, me and Liz have talked about this. Feet help you so much.
Yeah.
Like a $7 foot or a $5 foot, you're like, why did I need this? And then all of a sudden you realize, like, it's amazing. I have been sewing so much leather lately, I want to die. But a walking foot helped me a lot. Like, having a walking foot was a big help. So I mean, there's many people on YouTube that have amazing tutorials. There's this other one that's like been doing a Princess Peach costume. I'll look these up. I'll put a post. So
okay.
I'm not just giving you random people. But
all right.
Yeah. Old ladies for the one.
Basically, the YouTube videos are out there. Someone in the chat recommended Tandy Leather stores have classes, so that's a good place to start too. And I know that
Joanne, they have classes too. I attended one.
Yeah, Joanne says classes, so the information is out there. Thank you, Aiden. Let's try and jam through a couple more real quick.
Let's do it.
Zach is working on a Borderlands pistol. How should I make the diamond pattern for the handle? That would be the checkering, I think they call it. It depends on what material you're working out of. Yeah, if you look up checkering, there is a checkering.com. Wow. It looks like it was made in 1995. But that's what that technique is called, doing the crosshatch pattern for gun handle grips. So look up checkering, and look up tutorials on checkering or gun stock checkering. Very good. And then go look at the checkering that Harrison did on his handle for that Dishonored 2 gun, and then weep because it's so beautiful.
And weep.
Cry. Happy tears. Haxor wants to know, is there a good or decent type of paint that would be best to use on hands when requiring for cosplay? Oh, so like pigmenting your skin, I would say. Do you like makeup or anything like that?
Yeah, I would use, alcohol-based paints are fine, whatever, but like my favorite of all the paints I've tried, I have a slew of them, are a cream-based with a water-based on, like, or a water-based with a cream-based on top. That'll stay the longest, and you could set it with powders. Like, get yourself a Miron Paradise that's water, and then get the matching cream, and it will be indestructible. It won't crack nearly as much. Doing just water-based or just cream, there's problems with both. So the mixture of lightly blotting the cream on top of the color, which also helps for highlighting, and then setting it with a translucent powder. That is the best.
Very good. Good luck, Haxor. Lauren wants to know, I'm starting to cast a lot of resin masks. Do you know what type of filler I should be using in my mask?
Hi, Dad, by the way. Sorry, just had to say hi to my
dad. I'm not quite sure what you mean by filler. Like, if you're slush casting a mask, you don't really need to fill it with anything. You can mix in something like Urafil, like a Urafil 7 or a Urafil 9 to make it lighter. Yeah. Go look on Smooth-On's website for Urafil for urethane casting. They each do something different, and their website does a great job of saying what they do. So there you go.
Yeah, I love that stuff, man. I forgot all about that. They showed me at the store, but I wanted to try some for weight.
Wear a mask. Urafil, some of them are just silica, which is tiny shards of glass. Don't breathe it in.
Yeah.
Let's get another one. Otherworld Cosplay says, I'm teaching a class of prop making using Worbla in a couple of weeks. Do you have any tips for working with Worbla for beginners?
Yeah, get a heat gun, not a hair dryer. That'll help you. And then also, prepare your fingers for the worst because it's going to be hot. And do not, under any circumstances, start with any Worbla other than the original. If you're going to start with Worbla, don't buy black Worbla, don't buy red Worbla, don't buy the new Worbla with the fiber backing. Do not buy anything but traditional because traditional is just the best beginner one. Black Worbla they all have their purpose, but traditional is the best to start with.
Awesome. Those are really good tips. Turns out, I think for the previous question, they were curious about what type of filter I should be using in the mask.
Like
if you're talking about like a respirator filter that you would wear while you're casting, then a good there you go. Just show what those are right there. You got the right one.
Harrison told us to get these. And so I think like 10 of us got them. Yep. I don't know what they are. They're this one, but we can link that. It's this particular model. But let me, while we're talking about this is one of my favorite things of 2016.
Yep.
So RZ masks are, it's just a charcoal mask. So obviously I'm not saying use it for that kind of stuff, but for sanding, this bad boy is amazing.
And they have so fashionable.
Yes, they have like teeth and scary stuff, but RZ mask, this is so good for sanding, and my goggles don't fog up. It's so good. It's really comfortable. It's neoprene. So
there you go. All right, cool. Hopefully we've covered everything. You're good to go. Last one, Caroline OBX. What's the best way to attach foam to fabric? Should I sew it or glue it? Is there another way? I've had good luck with using barge to glue fabric to EVA foam. That's worked just fine for me.
This just got here a couple days ago. They're judging me for being the package. Yeah. Barge for the win, though.
No, Jackie she bought more than she needed because she's stocked up. That's the one that she's saving for later.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure that's what it is. I did. I will honestly say I have mask filters to spare because I know, when I opened it, I wrote the date on it so that I know how old it is. And then in a couple months, I'll be like, let's open a new one.
I want to say something about that.
Yeah.
Builder Ann then, as a hobbyist turned professional, is more prepared than a professional Hollywood shop that Liz and I worked in that had a whole bunch of respirators and 0 filters.
Oh, geez.
Well, this is they should have a little lesson from the cosplay community because we have like speeches about safety in our chat, so we're good. Our brain cells are important.
There you go. I will say that you mentioned Harrison. He does a great job of pushing people to be as safe as possible.
Yeah.
It's a lot of times too, you may think you're doing what you think is the safest thing and have the wrong respirator mask for the type of material that you're working with. So that's definitely the sort of thing, especially if you're doing a lot of casting, a lot of resin, working with a lot of toxic chemicals, knowing exactly what the right safety equipment is will like literally make you live longer. So thank you Harrison for keeping us on the straight and narrow.
This is something else for safety. Instead of wiping your hands with paint thinner and lacquer, you know how like everybody does that? Like not everybody, a lot of people do that. These bad boys are so good they even got uncured resin off my hands.
Wow.
I touched the casting, like you do.
Yeah.
So these things are really good. You should try them.
Very good. I have the orange goop stuff by the sink.
Yeah, that's good too.
Where you put it on your hands first, rub it really well, and then rinse it off.
Yeah. I've seen people like just use, even my Nana, she goes like outside and does like turpentine and stuff. And just straight up washing her hands back in the day with turpentine when she'd be using oil paint. And, that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, just gargle some of it. Yeah, just to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. We made it through all our questions. We went a couple minutes long, but that's okay because we're having a good time.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for the last hour. Your questions are awesome. We really appreciate you guys bringing the good stuff. Jackie, thank you so much for hanging out with us and being awesome.
And guys, make sure you stick in, just stick in, to the page. Just check out my page for that giveaway because I really want to send this little tiny 3D printer home with someone else.
Yeah.
It is. I'm promising you, it's not going to print something crazy, but it will print you cookie cutters.
That's great. Look up Jackie Craft Cosplay over on Facebook. Also, go to jackiecraft.storeenvy.com and buy some of her patterns because they're wonderful. Head on over there. Thank you again so much, and thank you everyone for hanging with us. We will see you all on the next Q&A. That'll be next week, same time, same place. Thursdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on our Twitch channel. See you, everybody.
Bye, guys.